tire, skinny tire, any tire. Which one is the best? Well, let's talk about it. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, tons and tons of e-bikes out there that are fat tires, and everybody says that fat tires, oh, hello puppy, are basically the best. Why is that? Well, they say they're stable. You can't ride a skinny tire bike without your hands. I actually seen that on a video the other day, and that is what made me think, what are the differences? Because I can ride this with no hands. If I want to come to the left of the center line, we'll go to the left. If I want to go to the right, we'll go to the right. If I want to try and put it right down in between the yellow lines, that's actually pretty good, because that's the tough one to do. But if we want to turn sharp here, we'll turn sharp back. So it can be done. So that takes away that disadvantage. Now, other than that, the cons, I'm not going to talk about anything. What I want to talk about is the good things of either one. So because I have a fat tire bike and I have a, quote, skinny tire bike, well, let's talk about the advantages on each one. So skinny tire here first. What's some advantages of that? Well, one, let's see, let's take the gravel up here today. One of the big advantages is it's much less rolling resistance. This bike right here, I'm pedal assist 3 and I'm not using anything right now, nothing at all. And I'm down in the 3rd gear on the bike itself. There's very little rolling resistance, and that means I use less motor. Everybody's talking about the range of this bike, the range of that bike. I never worry about the range on this bike because I think I could probably get 100 miles on it. But a lot of that has to do with there is no real rolling resistance here. And so, that's just some hay right there. I wasn't sure what that was. With less rolling resistance, I'm using less battery, and it's easier to go farther on any given battery. I have a 17.5 amp hour battery on here. Sometimes I think I should have bought a smaller one because I can go really far on it. So what's some other advantages to the thin tires? Well, they're less prone to flats, believe it or not. The way most of us are going to get a flat tire is a pinch flat. Now you can get that, and with a fat tire bike you've got less air pressure in them, so you're a little bit more susceptible to flats there. But also on a lot of your smaller tires, you have a double liner in there that you do not have on the fat tire bikes, and that's exactly what that's for, is to keep from punctures going through. And then you've got the fact that you've got less width going on to the ground to pick up thorns, nails, sharp rocks, whatever it happens to be. You've got a lot less width on it. You know, everything sure is looking nice and green around here. We just had thunderstorms pretty much the whole day. You know, we were supposed to take one of our navigated routes, about a 25 miler today, and beautiful weather they predicted all week long. Wake up this morning, it's still dark out, and I'm getting ready to go hook up the rack. I hear thunderstorms, and we had thunderstorms all day. They changed it overnight. It was supposed to be a beautiful day until this morning. But anyway, let's get back out of the rabbit hole here. What else happens with a skinny tire bike? Well, you're creating a lighter bike as well. That again goes right back with the the amount of motor that you end up using, you know, the amount of battery that you end up using. It's not only a lighter tire and making a lighter bike, but it's much less rotating mass that you have to turn with your legs or the battery. What's some other advantages? They're easy to fix on the trail. I would not have a problem. I have, I'll show you here. I've got this little mini pump right here that honestly I would not have a problem pumping up one of these tires with it. You know, I'm just an old cowboy. If my fat tire bike had a flat tire, a flat tire, and I had it on the side, I'd treat it like a horse with a broken leg. I'd shoot it and walk home. Maybe take my saddle off and carry my saddle home. Because if that was the only choice I had, pumping it up with that or shoot it, the bike is dead. What's some other kind of advantages on this? Well, they are going to be quieter. These smaller tires, they just run a lot quieter. And they're going to be, believe it or not, much better on tight off-road technical trails. Yeah, there's just no way around it. I've ridden both of them on very tight trails, and the fat tires, you know, it's pretty wet to go down through the field today. The fat tires are going to be a lot better. Now, you notice most of what I talked about, the advantages, is geared around the fact that the fat tires use less motor. They're easier to pedal along. Now, that's a little about me personally, because what I get, like I'm riding this bike along right now, and I'm at zero. I'm not using any power from the bike, you know, from the motor. Everything is coming off my legs. And if I was on my fat tire bike and I was riding at this same level, I would be using some motor. Well, so what? I have the motor. Well, to me, and this is just me personally, that's just that's a personal motivator for me to, hey, let's go ahead and keep working. Keep that number down to zero. Keep that, like, pump a little harder. I just looked down and heard like 20 watts coming through there. I just pumped my legs a little harder on that. Yeah, it's getting a little on the late side, so I think I'll turn back here. But that's a huge motivating factor for me, because I am using these for exercise as well. You know, I used to get a lot of exercise, and then all of a sudden I stopped getting nearly as much. And so I'm using this for exercise as well. So that comes into play with it, certainly as a personal choice. Does this mean I think skinny tires are the best? No, actually. Because we're going to jump onto the fat tire bike here next. Well, so maybe I think fat tires are the best. No, I'm not here to tell you what I think is better, because that doesn't matter, because I'm not riding all of the different bikes. I'm here to help you decide what you think is better. And so what I'm going to tell you is what I think are advantages on the skinny tires or on the fat tires, and I'll let you decide what's important to you, and then you'll know what is the best, because the best for you and the best for me might be two different things. But hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump onto the fat tire. You know I love to do that transporting, so here we go. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? We're going to jump onto the fat tire right now. Blows my mind every time that it works, but here we are. We're on the fat tire now, just like that. So, what can we say about the fat tire that's advantages? Well, we'll kind of pull apart the things we talked about on the skinny tires, you know, because you do have some more rolling resistance with these tires, but so it's got a motor. You can overcome it with that right there. Now, you're adding some more weight. Again, you've got a motor. I think maybe we shall head through the field here. What else have we got? Well, the more prone to flats, well, you can get tannis inserts or slime, some things like that to kind of overcome that. So, you know, we're not going to call that a great disadvantage or anything like that. But let's go ahead and hit on some of the advantages here with them. Huge advantage is when you're in, now right here, we have a spot called Southern Pines, and it is in the sand hills. You hear what I said there? Sand hills. And there is a ton of sand in it. We're right outside of the sand hills here. So there are a lot of places that have a lot of deep sand in them out on the trails. Anytime you get off the pavement, you run into some sandy areas. When it's very dry for a long time, it can be really difficult on a skinny tire bike, but a fat tire, you don't even notice it. You just cruise right through it. So that's a big advantage. Now, another place that you've got an advantage is in snow. That's what these bikes were originally built for, was snow in the desert, for sand and snow, so you could ride on top of them. And those are advantages that are very difficult to overcome when you flip it around the other way and you use a small tire bike. Yes, you can put studs on them and stuff like that, but it's still kind of difficult to overcome those things. So there are some great advantages right there. What are some other advantages? Well, with that softer tire pressure, it does give you a softer ride, especially on gravel roads and things like that. So if you're looking for a smoother ride, well, that could be a big advantage for you right there. I always hear about the advantage of being off-road with them, and I don't really think that's a great big advantage to them. I actually prefer my smaller stuff, but the type of my smaller tire bike off-road is not because it's more powerful. It is because the lighter weight and the smaller tire path does better on the very technical tight stuff, and that's what I prefer to ride. Some other people would prefer to ride something else, and a fat tire maybe would be a lot better on something like that. So I'm gonna call it a toss-up. It's not a great advantage off the road, but something like this gravel right here, this is pretty bumpy gravel right here, and you can feel it coming through the bars a little bit more on a thin tired bike than you can on this one here, because the tire pressure is set down kind of low on it. So that's a real advantage right there. What else have we got? Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You got that cool factor, and they do look, they look pretty cool. There is no question about that. I've related this before. I was riding one morning on this bike right here, and I was riding by a school bus stop of elementary kids, and one little kid says to another one, says, "Man, that is one cool bike." You know, I don't hear that if I'm out on my trek too often. So there's that. That's a real advantage there too. What else is there? Well, you tell me. Drop down in the comments. I know most. Okay, I thought I heard another car coming back down through there. It must be the wind blowing the sound from those two. Nope, there is another one coming. I thought so. but hey, drop down into the comments. Tell me what you think the advantages or disadvantages of either one happen to be. I know where I stand, and I cannot say one is better than the other. For me personally, I prefer the smaller tire, not because it's better, but because it fits my personal taste a little bit more. There's a car barreling out of there. That's kind of interesting. You can't see that, but come out of there awful quick. Awful quick out of there. Okay. All right, just got a little distracted there. But hey, put down in the comments what you think some other advantages and disadvantages of either side are. Tell me the favorite reason. I think probably the folks that are watching my channel, I'm going to say probably 80 to 85% are riding fat tires, is what I'm going to guess. Tell me why you ride them. And the few that are riding the smaller tires, tell me why you ride them. You know, I don't need to hear the terrible things. Let's focus on the good things about it. And that's going to wrap it up. So yeah, I'm going to head back in. I still got some folks working in the shop there. And we'll let this school bus come on by. But that's going to do it from right here in sunny but windy North Carolina. And hey, internet, this is Southern E-Biking telling you. Till next time, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels turning. Once again, we're out.